You're watching the quarterfinals here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, and we have one of the most successful surfers of all time in the water, Stephanie Gilmore, now enjoying her 400th heat of her career. What a big stepping stone and a huge accomplishment. We knew she'd have a long career, ton of longevity, being a world's best, finishing last year runner-up in the world, 6 world titles. You look at 400 heats, well, 10% of those have been major CT finals.
I think I've watched every one of them, Joe.
What a storied career. Stephanie Gilmore knocked in the quarters on the Gold Coast, so she knows she has a huge opportunity here. And getting the start will be Sage Erickson. Nice bottom turn, attacking it on the open face, and she'll slip off. End section came up quickly there. So advantage now, Gilmore holding priority, and Sage won't be getting much for that start.
You're better off just setting it up and just blazing into that one maneuver. Let's have a look here. The first turn was beautiful, by the way. Jamming it in the pocket. And then trying to go for that last one, but just didn't quite set the rail. Could have been better off maybe just extending that turn a bit more and accentuating it and just feeling it. Now in the back of her mind, she's got a wipeout under her belt instead of a complete ride.
Looking over the shoulder of Mike Parsons, talking to Caroline Marks, celebrating that win in the semifinals. Now in motion, Gilmore. Big whip on the finish. She'll slip off. So we'll start off with slow numbers in this fourth quarter final. Sage with a 2.5. Gilmore will be less as she's incomplete. It's just when you have an experienced surfer, you're happy when just the game changes a little bit. Not here, it's just the venue change, the Winky Pop. Making a move now, Sage Erickson. She has some speed, an aggressive foam climb, flying into the open face, and a big whip to finish. Another section that takes her down. Only credit for one turn on that last effort.
Wow, she's fired up, isn't she? I mean, going into that first maneuver, just pedal to the metal. A little bit off balance. I'm amazed that she actually pulled that off, by the way. Kind of sat down a little bit on it, and let's have a look. First turn, yeah, she just drills it. Kind of almost sits down a little bit into a bit of a layback, and then straight into maneuver number 2. Unfortunately, a little bit over rotating. Her balance a little bit off and goes down. So 2 wipeouts to start off for Sage Erickson.
Sage has actually kind of been behind the 8 ball on a few of the waves, but look at her now. She's where she needs to be, in the right spot, on time and in line. Let's see what she can do with it. Nice little snap off the top there, set up into this corner right now. Bang! Water flying everywhere from out here again. Oh, she comes undone. Unfortunate for Sage there.
Tough one there for Sage, but got a couple more completions in. She's been stuck in the 2 range. Gilmore just a 1.93, so still plenty of room to move on this wave. Gilmore celebrating her 400th heat here in this quarterfinal. Sets up a nice clean top turn. Very patient, waiting for more of a bowly section. Whitewater just slowing her down. Now out in front, little setup turn. She'll hang in there, forcing the wrap real quick, and now a late hit on the end section. Gilmore goes down. So 193, second scoring ride, so not going to be too big. Last of Erickson in at a 3.93, still 22 to go.
I'm trying to think of what's going on out here at the moment. I think it's last heat of the day. They've been around all day. It's kind of draining. You know, your emotions are high and low. Are we on? Are we off? Beautiful turn there from Steph. That's more like it. But then kind of got stuck behind the section. Maybe should have hit that. Got a little bit of projection off the whitewater, but kind of lost all her speed and then had to regather and try and fit this last maneuver in with very little speed. So that can kind of come against you. And, you know, late afternoon, kind of drained emotionally and mentally because you've been hanging around all day watching highs and lows of watching, you know, your hero surfing and stuff like that. It's difficult, you know.
Sage starting to move now. Looking to improve on a 2.5. Big front side car for Erickson. Nice clean sweep into the pocket. Quick jam off the lip. Sage now running after the finish and closes this one out nice and easy.
That's better. Just took her time with it. You know, I think the other waves that she had, she's fallen off. Why? Because maybe she's rushing it. She's a bit over-excited. She really wants to beat Steph Gilmore. And when you have someone like Steph in your heat, it almost feels like you've got to go over and above the call of duty to win. And when you do that, mistakes are going to happen. So on that occasion, she slowed herself down a bit, focused on each turn individually, and gave each turn undivided attention, which completed the ride. And that's going to be the best score of the heat.
Erickson did a great job just to stay on her feet. Literally simplified the formula here.
Yeah, nice clean surfing as well. I mean, when Sage is firing, you know, she doesn't really need to crank it up too much. I mean, she's as good as anyone out there. Nice stylish turns from Sage, keeping that board moving rail to rail, which I like, which keeps that speed going. Those fins are engaged, and every turn looks solid. Every turn looks smooth. That's what the judges want to see.
So scores coming in for Erickson, a 6.0, extending her lead out front. Gilmore's last, 3.93.
Carolupa sounds.
Carolupa is easier to say, but that was the reference there was to Aki, one of the best ever here at Bells. She's off and running. What an exciting rookie. Sage will just kick up and out. 6.0 on her last. Still has a low of a 3.93 to improve on. This is her personal best result in the making. And still at the moment has the lead off Gilmore. Stephanie once again just up and out, trying to find the right waves. It's appeared to be quite challenging today.
Yeah, those round 2 losses are long gone now for Sage Erickson, aren't they, Joe? She's just a whole different competitor, that's for sure.
And she got some time to think, to regroup. All of a sudden, back on the QS. One clean year, back on tour, even better. Steph still hunting out there, Potts.
Yeah, well, I like the fact she's hunting and not just sitting there. With the new scoring system, it's going to be a big wave and some big turns to get that score.
Sage Erickson wants to keep on running down the line. There's that clean forehand whip, but she gets gobbled up by the whitewater. Like a pretty fun section for Gilmore. Clean cutback. Stephanie needs to finish solid. There's one off the lip, and she sneaks out. Her best wave so far with 13:30 to go.
Yeah, she needed that, Joe. She needed to get a good wave under her belt. She needed to put a score on the board. Not sure whether that's going to be the 6.01, but it's definitely going to make her feel better about things. First turn, nice and clean. Straight into maneuver number 2, so on her way to a good score, and then bashes it towards the end. Well, I'll take that back. I'm kind of seeing that it's right on that line there, 6.01 required. Very similar to Sage Erickson, 6.0, so we've got a heat now. Really needs to find something to get herself into that number 1 spot. Trying to put that pressure back onto Sage. Here she goes now.
Erickson with some speed. Nice clean forehand jam. Just taps the whitewater real quick. Now setting the rail again, full wrap. And she's out, so quiet little calm in that lead. Here's Gilmore stretching this one out. A growing wall in front of her. Snaps it under the lip.
Oh.
Nice sweeping down car for Gilmore. Fades it one more time, and she'll hop out. So needing a 4.61 to get the lead off Erickson. This was her last wave, Potts.
Yeah, I like it. You know, just getting out in front of it, making sure she found that open face. Now she starts to go to work. I love that slash, that mid-face slash that she's got. Down cards again. So Steph Gilmore just showing us why she's got 6 world titles and quite a few bells as well. It's got to be looking pretty amazing.
Setting up this one is Erickson. Pushing hard for a finish. And she'll sneak out of there. So her last score didn't improve her 3.93. Last score for Gilmore, a 6.03. Just finally got her in the lead. Erickson now dropping to second and looking for a 5.37. So Gilmore took some time to fight for that first place position.
Steph letting Sage go on this one though.
Frontside car for Erickson. Needs a 5.37. Snaps it off the lip, and there's the finish. It's kind of a stretched out foam climb on the end section there. Chasing a 5.37 for the lead and what would be her first semifinal at Bells in her career. So all those world titles already out of the contest. Gilmore's trying to hang in there. What did you think about Sage's last effort?
Oh, nice opening turn. First part of the wave done. So you got to get these big open face maneuvers. The judges want to see commitment. And she showed that right at the end of that wave there. 5.37 will swing this heat. And I'm liking the new Sage Erickson.
The big names out. Tyler Wright, Malia Manuel after a huge start on the Gold Coast. Fitzgibbons getting the worst result of her career at Bells earlier this week. Stephanie make a move now. Aggressive forehand hack right off the lip. She'll dig in further. Driving through her points with precision. Now belting the lip even harder down the line. Gilmore finding a pocket that she absolutely loved and destroyed it.
Now that is the Steph Gilmore we know, Joe. And that's the Steph Gilmore that we've come to love to watch surfing. That's why she's got 6 world titles. And all it took was those last couple of rides. 5.33, 6.03. It fired her up, and this is what comes after Steph Gilmore finds a little bit of confidence. Driving into that one. Next turn, just jamming it in the pocket. And another big maneuver. So 3 solid turns from Steph, and then blows the tail out. Best wave of the heat so far. And you can see Sage Erickson, she doesn't like that. Why? Because she knows a good score is just about to get dropped in for Steph Gilmore, and the pressure. They want more than that. They want to win this thing. Here we go.
Minute 20 to go. Erickson now needs a 7.36. First wrap solid. Big section. She slips off going for a big move. You know she wanted to lay into that thing. The front foot slipped off. She's down.
She lacks that confidence. She's shaky. She falls. Here we go.
Taking off down the line, trying to save herself is Erickson. Doesn't have to hold back. Going for it. Clean combo. Snap to wrap. Set up work. Here comes the finish. Solid surfing for Sage. She's going to call it a heat there. 15 seconds to go. Left chasing a 7.36 on that last wave. That would have to be the best wave of the quarterfinal.
Hold her head up high. She pushed the champ. She made Steph Gilmore dig deep. She's got to be proud of that. She wasn't it wasn't a one-sided affair. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sage. She's back on track. Quarterfinals, not a bad result here for her. At a very tricky Bells Beach, so she's going to go to Margaret River feeling good.
Sage Erickson finishing with a quarterfinal result, and Gilmore off and running into the semifinals. An exciting day. WSL Post Show is coming up next with Ronnie Blakey, Rosie Hodge, and Martin Potter. We'll see you then.